Well, the question often comes to me about the issue of Genesis 3:16, where God said to Eve, your husband shall rule over you. And the question is, doesn't this apply to the church as well as to the home? Well, as I look at this text, I see, first of all, that it is in the context of the fall, not in the context of creation. Back in creation, Adam and Eve were perfectly equal, with no hierarchy of one over the other. And this is very clear from the evidence. I didn't used to believe that, but the more I looked at the evidence of Genesis 1 and 2, the more I've come to that conclusion. And Ellen White confirms this in Patriarchs and Prophets, page 58, and elsewhere. So this is a fall ordinance, and it is a stopgap measure where Adam and Eve had become curved inward by sin into selfishness, and so they were blaming one another, blaming God, blaming the snake, and in order to preserve the unity and harmony in the home, God put in a stopgap measure of assigning a servant head, servant leader in the home of the husband. But this servant leadership of the home is designed for husbands and wives. It is not to be broadened to include all men having rule over all women. And why we know that is that the first part of Genesis 3:16 says, to the woman, your desire shall be for your husband. And the word desire implies a sexual desire. So if we broaden that, that would imply all women having a sexual desire for the men in the church? No. So you can't broaden that part, so neither can you broaden the other part. The rule is this servant leadership that God has placed in the home of the husband being the umbrella, the protector of his wife in the context of sin. And we cannot broaden it to relate to the relationships between men and women at large in the church.